Okay, folks, here's a quick review of the Boba Fett figure that was produced by Hasbro as a part of the Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch scale line of figures. And this was a gift that I received this past Christmas. Boba Fett saw a previous release as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, alongside a Han Solo and Carbonite figure in its packaging. Boba Fett was then re-released as a single-box figure as a part of the second wave of Black Series 6-inch figures in late 2013. And if the stories I've heard are accurate, Boba Fett is extremely hard to find in stores, and scalpers are having an absolute field day reselling him on the secondary market. So, needless to say, I was quite surprised to get this as a Christmas present, and I have to thank my family for their generosity, and to the scalpers out there, y'all just suck. But anyway, the articulation joints were all frozen in place, but I was able to get them all freed up using a hairdryer. Boba Fett has articulation in the neck, the shoulders, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hips, the knees, and the ankles. And there is an additional articulation joint just below the hips, and the ankles are on a rocker joint. Boba Fett's head also turns 360 degrees, and it moves up and down. And his knees are double jointed. So it goes without saying that the posing options with this figure, they are quite numerous. Also of note, the helmet is a nice representation of what was shown in the movies with lots of nice detailing. And the antenna that you see is not movable, and it is not removable either. Paint apps on the figure were nicely done with no appreciable errors to speak of. And the cape that you see in the background is made of cloth as opposed to plastic, and it doesn't appear to be removable. Now, one thing I have discovered with this figure, it is a little bit difficult to get him to stand upright without using a figure stand, and I was a bit disappointed to discover that. So let me pause here, zoom in, and I'll give you a closer look as to what Boba Fett looks like. Okay. Boba Fett comes with 3 accessories, so let me pan down real quick and I'll show you what they are. There was no figure stand included in the package, and I'm unsure of where to get one. So if you have a suggestion as to where I can buy some figure stands for these Black Series 6-inch scale figures, please let me know in the comment section below. Alright, first up, here is his trademark blaster rifle, and we all saw this in the movies. And this is known as an EE3 sawed-off carbine rifle, and it looks like it started its life as a revolver, and then it just grew from there. And as you can see, there's lots of nice detailing on this accessory. Next up, here is a disruptor pistol, which I'm assuming he carried as a backup. And this can be placed into a holster located on Boba Fett's right hip. And I don't recall seeing him use this weapon in the movies, but I'm glad that Hasbro chose to include it nonetheless. And finally, here is his rocket pack. This was known as a Metronomen Z6, and it pegs into place on Boba Fett's back. All right, back to the figure itself. What I'll do now is a quick 360 of Boba Fett for you, and let you see what he looks like from all sides. All right. Here he is from the left. Here he is from the rear. The right-hand side. Finally, here we are once again, facing forward. So overall, I have to say that this is a very impressive looking figure, and I like it quite a bit. Paint apps on the figure were well done, and as you saw, there's lots of nice detailing on it. The included accessories were also well done, and they also have nice detailing. The 2 gripes that I do have with this figure are the lack of an included figure stand, and that it has been a little bit difficult for me to get him to stand upright. Using the included rocket pack on Boba Fett's back, that does seem to help alleviate the problem somewhat, but shelf diving, I feel, is still a possibility. So if Boba Fett, say he fell on his head, the antenna on his helmet might be damaged, possibly even broken off. So Anyway, with that being said, I feel that the gripes with this figure are relatively minor. So I feel that Boba Fett should get a very high recommendation. This is definitely a figure that you want to have in your Star Wars figure collection. And it's certainly one of my favorite Star Wars figures that I've gotten thus far. Alright, so on that note, take care and stay tuned for my next review. Have a good one.